Well, g'day, and welcome to a whole new look live stream because, of course, we've just started Alienated Nations.
Alienated Nations.
Alienated Nations now.
Yeah.
Of course, I am here with Mr. Paul Smith.
Good evening.
Yes, good
Good
evening.
evening, good evening.
And
welcome.
we have, as well, we have a new look record spin.
Oh, I haven't seen this myself.
No, you haven't. No. In fact, I hadn't seen it this morning because I hadn't done it this morning.
Oh, well.
It was. I woke up this morning and I went, oh, bloody hell, hang on, it's a different album, you know. I need a new start sequence and a new sequence and a record spin. It was all that. So that's what I've been doing today.
Well, it's
Should we see what this record spin? Should we see if it's any good?
Excited.
Let's see if it's any good. Here it is. Record spin for Thinking of You, which is track 1 on Alienated Nations. And it occurred to me, this album doesn't have an overture.
Oh.
Doesn't have an overture. Of course, Putin and Trump has an overture, but this album doesn't have an overture. So we're smack on into this first
All
song.
right.
Thinking of
Breaking
You.
the rule of steel.
Record spin.
Rule of
Coming
steel.
at ya. Here we go.
When your spirit's low, you've nowhere to go. Know that morning will come and black will turn to blue. When the wine is gone and no one has wrong, know that someone out here is thinking of you. When your day's been slow and your feet are cold, things that comfort your soul seem so far away. It may be a foolish thing in spite of everything. Know that someone out here is thinking of you. Thinking of you, though in years we haven't met. Thinking of you, something in me can't forget. Though I have much to say and I'm a million miles away, know that someone out here is thinking of you. Though my promise wasn't true to keep the hurt from you, know that someone out here is thinking of you.
Lovely.
Aww.
Very nice.
There we are. Yeah, I like that song.
Oh, Rick Lovering's on.
Oh, we got the pair of Ricks.
Ricks.
Rick Nicholas and Rick Lovering. I thought you weren't going to be on, Rick Lovering. You were going to see a punk band.
Oh.
I said I spit on that remark.
Indeed.
So I don't know. Oh yeah, he's free for 20 minutes before the Subhumans. Oh.
20 minutes before I go to see
There we are. So yeah, particularly short song this is this week. So where Paul and I would normally sit around chatting while the song's on about all sorts of stuff, we're going, oh bloody hell, it's finished already.
Finished already? Yeah, I didn't realise. That was that short.
So, thinking of you, will we do this at Chapel Arts? This is a question I asked myself. Will we do it? We didn't do it at the rehearsal, did we? And of course, we have a big band, and there isn't a bloody big band on that, is there?
So,
we'll have to see.
Oh.
Have to wait and see.
Ah, okay.
So there.
Right.
So yeah,
Lovely song.
I like it, yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, I've always liked it.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah,
Something we haven't said for a long time, and probably everyone still knows this, because a lot of the people have been seeing these live streams forever. But if you haven't subscribed to us on YouTube, please subscribe, because more people means that eventually, and not yet, but eventually, YouTube will have to actually pay us for all of the music videos that they play. At the moment, they don't, because you have to have something like 3,000 hours a month has to be watched,
Wow.
which is quite a bit. And I think we were up to like 1,300 or 2,000, something like that, but we're not close to it. And you have to have over 1,000 subscribers. We've got over 1,000 subscribers, and that's good. That took forever, but we're there then at least. So it's just like numbers. They just try and get away without paying you for anything.
There's a lot of that going on.
There's a lot of that going on
in this streaming world that we live in.
Yes,
the streaming world.
So subscribe.
That was easy.
Yeah.
Well, it is easy.
It's easy.
Just subscribe.
People have asked where I got this button. Born to Win bought me this button.
Oh, did they?
They have lots of them lying around their house, so every time they have a breakthrough, which is about 70 times a day in their case, they hit the button.
That was easy.
So you just hear them going off all the time.
I can understand them having one. I can believe it, or more than one. Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh yes, the opening sequence thing that you played.
The opening. Oh yeah.
Over the. Yes, the new record spin thing.
Oh, the record spin. The record is going around.
No, don't tell him. Don't tell him, Pike.
Don't tell him, Pike. It's going around the right way.
Oh, you told him now.
The right way. Yeah, I relented. I decided, and I actually did have it wrong at first. I could have put all the rotation on and all of that sort of stuff, and then I looked at it and I went, still going the wrong way round. They're never going to forgive me. Not another album with it going on the wrong way round. So, no, I fixed it. The record is now going the right way round. We've got a new title sequence with James Warren spinning through the air with his bass like that, with Andy Fairweather-Low doing that across the screen.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
And talking about that, I believe, as long as his schedule will allow it, Andy is going to drop in next week, and he's going to join us for the live stream. So it's Andy Fairweather next week for the live stream. As providing he can make it next week, we will do Never Know next week. If he gets delayed and we have to do it the week after, we may change the order a little bit. But that's the plan at the moment. Andy Fairweather joining us for Neverland.
He's a good egg.
And hopefully,
nice guy, isn't he?
He's a great guy. And hopefully he's going to bring a couple of tracks in for his new album, which is just about to be released. New blues album that he's just written is just about to be released, so we'll see. Because he did a couple of interviews with Joe Matera, which have gone online somewhere in one of Joe's Australian papers and all of that sort of stuff. And then Andy put Joe in touch with Bill Wyman.
Oh, really?
So it's all, as I said to Andy, it's connections. It's all connections.
All connections, mate. All connections.
It's what make the music business go round.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
We've got a good few people here today, haven't we? We've got Mauro is across from Brazil. Is here from Brazil.
Sao Paulo, you said, yeah.
Ingo, we are going to see you next week, Ingo. Ingo's coming across.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, he's coming across.
That'd be nice to see you, Ingo.
Yeah, he flies in on
Excellent.
Friday and flies back on Monday. So,
wow.
Hanging out with him
Excellent.
for a couple of days.
Great.
Which is good, because he's always good for helping with the equipment.
Don't tell him that.
I know you can.
You think you're being used.
My flights are cancelled.
You're not being used. You're not being used. But he is helpful with it. No. Oh, great. It'd be nice to see you again.
Yep. As I said, both the Ricks, Rick Nicholas and Rick Lovering. Good. I hope you enjoy the punk band, Rick Lovering. It's all good. All music, all live music is good to see, isn't it?
Well, except punk.
Mauro, of course, from Brazil. Nice to hear from you again, Mauro. As always, you always make the effort. And that's good. I don't think Michael Dimmick from Australia can join us this time.
Oh.
I think he has to be somewhere else today. Scott, of course, from Bonnie, Scotland. I bet it's bloody cold up there at the moment. What are they forecasting for tomorrow? -15.
No.
Scotland, -15. Maybe not quite where you are. I think it might be further up in the Highlands, but that sounds cold.
I got out of my car one night on the way back from a gig in Aberystwyth, and it was up near Llandilo, in fact in Tally, and it was -14. I stopped the car, because Andy Park, who's the guy we saw
Oh,
with
yeah,
10cc,
with 10cc.
he was behind me coming back as well, and I stopped our cars, or my car, and stopped him as well. Said, look at the temperature. It was minus 14, so that's pretty cold. So minus 15.
It's even colder.
It's one degree colder.
It's like
I'm good like
I
that.
am going to 11, isn't it?
Yes. That'd be a guitar player.
Talking about that, there is a
Pointing that
new
out.
Spinal Tap movie this year.
Oh, never.
There's a new Spinal Tap, a new album.
I better watch the first one then, hadn't I?
Haven't you seen the first
No,
one? Oh,
never seen the first
It's such a classic. It is classic. It's got everything, every cliche that you can imagine that has ever happened to a band,
Right.
including the girl who gets involved and starts to take over the band and starts to do their astrological signs and go, no, we can't do this because the astrology isn't right. It's hilarious. It is
okay.
all the way through. It's absolutely brilliant. There's a point where they go, look, we're on the radio, and they turn it on. It's got, and they listen to the end. They go, ah, great, and then they go, that was from the "Where Are They Now" section.
Brilliant. Love it.
No, I thought I'd publicise this tour. There we go.
I love it.
Yeah, it's great. I think anyone that's seen the film will actually go. Carrie didn't understand it at first. She got 40 minutes through and she said, "Is this a documentary?" I'd fallen off my settee several times by that point. So.
Well, I might even go home tonight and watch it.
It's brilliant. It's
It'll
brilliant.
be somewhere, won't it? Netflix
Yeah,
or somewhere.
it is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, right.
Really good. Apparently, someone said some of it was modelled on Status Quo, on Francis Rossi and Rick Parfitt. But there is definitely a moment that is kind of modelled on the guy from Supertramp, where one of the guys is talking about doing a solo album, and he's going, yeah, I got this idea, of doing a solo album. It's called The Garden, and it's all about the things in the garden, and I've written these compositions about it. And I saw the guy from Supertramp do exactly the same thing.
Never.
He said, yeah, I've been working on this kind of musical called The Garden. I'm sure they
Is it Roger Hodgson, is it? Roger Hodgson?
Yeah, Roger Hodgson, as opposed to Roger Davis, who was the Welsh guy. Roger Davis was the guy who went, right, you're bloody well right, you got a right to say.
Okay. I don't think I knew. I mean, I knew Roger
Yeah.
Hodgson's name, and I'm friends on Facebook, actually. Don't know him or anything, but with John Anthony Helliwell. John Helliwell.
Oh, yeah, John Helliwell.
The sax player,
Yeah,
isn't he?
he's a great sax player. I was listening to Crime of the Century the other day and thinking, this guy is like a world-class sax player. His sax playing is just beautiful.
Not just
really. Great sound
yeah,
and
sure.
whatnot. But I saw him live when they had Crime of the Century out, and he was clarinets and percussion and all kinds of stuff,
I never got to see them live.
Yeah.
Loved the band.
Yeah, great.
Loved them.
Yeah, fantastic. Do you think we should? Do you think we should give him a quiz question?
Oof, go on then.
Should we give him a quiz question? Now everyone is probably thinking, it's a quiz question to do with thinking of you, and we know all about that. Well, you probably don't know quite all about it, but we're going to get a bit more tricky with that. We should say that the prize this week. This is a slightly more unusual. It's a CD of songs that didn't make the Alienated Nations album, and I was really spoiled for choice as to how many, as to what songs would go on it. And there were some where I was thinking, definitely would have liked to have put this on. There was definitely some where I'd gone, it's a great track, but I just didn't feel it fitted with this particular album so well. So that's what the prize is this week.
Oh,
So there.
excellent. I think that's a pretty good prize, actually.
I think it's a good prize.
It's very unique.
It is a unique prize. It's not something you can buy in the shops.
No.
Although I thought a lot of people would sell them, I'd buy them, I'd go sell them.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to stick the quiz question up here. Here we go. It's up on screen. Oh, that's not quite. I'm gonna show you the screen in a second. Paul, do you want to read this, or do you want to?
I will read it.
You can read it off there if you want.
No, I'll read it off there.
You read it off there. Okay. Fair
It's
enough.
obvious that...
Oh, hang on. Sorry, I haven't put it on screen. Okay. There we are. We're on screen now.
It's obvious that Alienated Nations is from the song of the same name. What song did the lyric Ununited Nations appear in, and which came first, the lyric in the song or the album title?
So there. So it's
there.
obvious Alienated Nations is from the song Alienated Nations.
Yes.
But what song did the lyric Ununited Nations appear in? And which came first, the lyric in the song or the album title? And quite honestly, I'm not sure that's ever documented anywhere, so I guess, but we need a tiebreaker, don't we? So, someone guesses one, maybe somebody else guesses the other, and you've got an equal chance. Assuming that you get the other bits of the question.
I don't think I'd get that one right.
No, probably the only person who get it right is me, because I know. But I'm not going to tell him. Oh, look, there's some interesting stuff coming up here.
Roger Davis was a
striker for Derby County in the 70s.
Oh, wow.
Bloody hell, was he?
What, the same Roger Davis?
Yeah, probably.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, well done, Rick Lovering.
I didn't know that. In the early days, certainly, I actually liked Roger Davis's writing more than I liked Roger Hodgson. Roger Hodgson obviously had Dreamer and all of those, but I just loved that sardonic kind of cynicism of right, you're bloody well right, you got a bloody right to say. And I thought he had a great voice as well, Roger Davis.
Yeah.
Because they handled the lead vocals between the two of them. And co-wrote, looks like they wrote almost an equal amount of songs each in the early days. When I listened to like Breakfast in America, that balance had changed a lot. Right. Roger Hodgson was doing lots more.
Right.
And I didn't think Roger Davis' stuff was as good on that album, didn't grab me like it had on those early albums.
I think Roger Hodgson's voice was more...
It's recognisable,
unique, recognisable. There's another word I can't think of right now.
But like a lot of great writing partnerships, you've got someone who's completely opposite of the other. You've got, Roger Hodgson, who's a bit of a hippie and a kind of dreamer, and then the other side of it, the Roger Hodgson, more the Lennon or the Andy Davis, if you like, that kind of slightly darker.
Roger Davis, you mean?
Well, no, Andy Davis as well from Korgis.
Yeah, but I think you said Roger Hodgson. Anyway, I know what you meant. Right. You said we had Roger Davis. Oh, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Roger Davis and Andy Davis.
Yes.
who were the darker?
Yes.
Darker parts of the collaborations.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm with you all the way.
Thank God for that.
What did he say? What did he say, huh? What did he say?
Roger Davis. Well, Rick Davis was in Supertramp, as pointed out by others. I thought it was Roger Davis because I always thought it was two Rogers, Roger Hodgson and Roger Davis. I could be wrong.
And Ingo has put Rick with 4 emojis of some sort.
Oh, maybe it could be. Well, no, I think he's talking to one of the Ricks.
I guessed that then, but at the same time, I thought, well, why is Ingo? Explain yourself, Ingo. Explain yourself.
I think I'm gonna have to find this out. So I'm gonna do a quick Google and figure out who were the members of Supertramp.
Meanwhile, a song.
Yes, it'll be here in just a second, though. Rick Davis, absolutely right. I was wrong. What do I know? Well, there's loads of other people I hadn't heard of there, but there we are.
Dougie Thompson.
They weren't the originals.
The
Dougie Thompson might have been.
Bob
Seidenberg was.
Yeah.
So that was the first 4.
He was a great drummer as well, Bob Seidenberg.
Yeah.
Loved his playing.
Yeah. Very good. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that. Rick Davis, there we are.
Rick Davis.
Well, shows how little I read those liner notes.
Mr. Lovering was absolutely spot on. But will he get the quiz question right?
Well, anyone got the quiz question right. Yes, there we are. So what have we got next here? Hot off the press. And I don't think you haven't seen this, Paul.
No.
I've just done a video for Alienated Nations. I've used a bit of AI as opposed to Al because it's very hard to tell the difference.
It is very.
Used a little bit of AI for Putin because this is. I don't know if anyone knows this, but Alienated Nations is set in Putin's psychiatrist's office. His psychiatrist is
Of
called
course.
Ivanka. So we wonder whether, was there some liaison with Trump? You know, he called his daughter Ivanka. Apparently she was a bit of a girl, you know. Bit of a hottie as well, as you'll see from the video. There we are. And so this is Alienated Nations, the video, if I can find it. Yes, it's here. I put them out, completely out of order. Coming up on screen now.
You're all adrift at sea, no harbor to be found. Is that all you can be? Don't you long for solid ground? Your hands are out of line. You're running from the past. You're running out of time, unless you can run real fast. Alienated nations, you've been free to roam, but you're our lost relations. So won't you come back home? Alienated nations, you may dance to your own tune, but I'm running out of patience now. You better come back soon. I said you better come back soon. The bear that once was weak will soon again be mighty. He's polishing his teeth. I'm counting down from 3. Alienated nations, you've been free to roam, but you're our lost relations. So won't you come back home? Alienated nations, you may dance to your own tune, but I'm running out of patience now. You better come back, because it's blue back, the stages of blood red moon. You better come back to play in the on track. You better come back to You're all adrift at sea, no harbor to be found. Is that all you can be? Don't you long for solid ground? Yeah, you've been out of line, from begging for the flood. Beware the march on time, and a future that's stained with blood. Alienated nations, yeah, you've been free to roam, but you're a lost relation. Won't you come back home? You may be dancing to your own tune, but I'm running out of patience now. You better come back, you better run back, you better come back soon.
There we are, the brand new
Great.
video for Alienated Nations. So, in fact, that's the last proper song from Putin and Trump the musical that didn't have a video for it. I haven't done the finale yet, but when I've done that, it means we have the whole of Putin and Trump the musical
Great.
as
Excellent.
a video. So I was wondering whether to maybe put a package together with a DVD and the scripts or something like that. Maybe a Putin and Trump memorial kind of thing, maybe. Because we have the scripts, because I've got the script done in typed fonts.
I think if you do, I think everybody needs to rush and buy it quickly.
Russian by it. Oh, I see what you did there.
That's not. I didn't actually mean that.
You didn't
but
mean
no,
it.
it's very good. No, what I was going to say is you better rush and buy a bet, but that's very good. Because we don't know how much longer we're going to be here, by the looks of things.
Well, yeah, I mean, the new Korgis show scheduled for the middle of the year is called The Korgis at the End of the World. And there is a disclaimer which says that should the world end, then we will not be able to fulfill the dates and there will be no refunds, soz.
Not to put too sort of much of a dampener on things.
Yeah. No, there we are. Well,
Too pessimistic.
yes. Who knows? I mean, there's throughout the decades and decades, there's been a lot of stamping of feet and shaking of fists and threats from both parts. Lots of threats. Especially Trump is now saying, "When I get in, if these hostages are not back, then all hell is going to break loose out there." And he's made that sort of rhetoric before, and actually. He's got results. He got results from North Korea, didn't he? Where he said, "I ain't gonna rain down such hell on you all," etc., etc. And all of a sudden, then Kim's on the phone, isn't he? "Oh, Mr. Trump, how are we doing?" They're best mates, which possibly is what's going to happen with Putin as well. Who knows? You know.
We'll have to wait and see. Won't we?
I have to wait and see what happens there, yeah. But, I mean, everyone knows it's not in their interest to start with the nuclear weapons. That is really not in anyone's interests because everyone's got a lot of them. Way too many of them. So we know how that ends. Hopefully, in a way, Trump getting in because of their relationship with each other might be able to diffuse that situation, but who knows? Might be one of the few positive things that comes out of Trump's administration.
So this nuclear weapons thing, that was Oppenheimer's fault, wasn't it?
It was Oppenheimer's fault. Yeah, it was his fault in the first place. However, he was quite right in saying that the Germans were trying to build a bomb. That's what the Dam Busters was about. Did you know that? It was about destroying the heavy water plant because they were making heavy water in order to make an A-bomb. And that's what the Dam Busters project was about.
Yes.
And so in America, they were then going, "Oh my God, this is really happening. You know, we've got to beat them to it."
Yes. Talking of America, changing the subject, but we'd have to think about our friends in LA at the moment.
Yes, I know.
Lost their houses and some with their lives.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's. I haven't seen the district. Is that like north of LA or south of LA? And figure it out.
What's it called? Something Pasadena Palisades, I think it was. Was it Pasadena Palisades? Was one of the areas affected. But it seems there's a lot of LA has just gone. Or there's not a lot of LA of this particular area.
Of the area.
Yeah, and it's. I mean, devastation out there.
Yeah, because I got a brother who lives in LA, and I know he has marked himself as safe.
I've been trying to get hold of somebody today.
LA is such a big place.
Yeah.
I mean,
of course.
I was in LA and I went to see the guitarist Larry Carlton. That was one of my great heroes. He was on the bill with Robin Ford. Not a bad double bill that. And we drove for 2 hours to the gig, and it was freeways, driving freeways, and we were still in LA.
God. I've never been to LA. I didn't know it was that big.
It's a huge conglomerate of lots of suburbs. Kind of, it's a bit like the industrial north up in Manchester area, where you go to Manchester, Preston, Bolton, Burnley.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
You know, all of those areas are all almost connected to each other.
M62, which I was on last week.
Yeah.
After my snowbound, my snowbound journey, or at least snowbound to start with, anyway.
Yeah.
So, right, okay, LA, it was anyway very sad.
Yeah, it's huge, but unfortunately, winter as well. They had the driest winter.
I know, no rain at all, have they?
I know, all of the weather systems.
You'd never think with the
upheaval.
cold. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There we are. So we wish anyone in LA district, wish you all the best with that. Let's hope the wind dies down
and it
changes, goes the other way. Yep. Okay. Well, let's talk about this thinking of you thing. It was a COVID song. Like a lot of acoustic songs I write, it was written in E. And it has this kind of utilising open strings. So oops, that's not very easy.
It was last week. Al Steele on tuning a guitar this week.
Something like that, anyway. Very James Taylor influence, a lot of James Taylor thing. But if you think of E, same kind of chord structure. So yeah, it's quite a you know. I immediately gravitate to those sort of chords whenever I write an E. So that's good. It was written during COVID. It was written during COVID, and I have actually said this on the liner notes. That there was someone I was conversing with on Twitter, and she was a bit of a Korgis fan, but you've just mentioned everybody's saying, "I've just listened to everybody's got to learn sometime." And of course, we're in this science fiction movie where everyone's wearing masks and we're all stuck in the house and all that stuff. And I just noticed there was a lot of people who were kind of really not feeling very good. You know, they were scared to go out. They were really isolated. They didn't have any friends. No one was coming around. And I wrote, thinking of that, but after this particular conversation with a woman that lived down there, and I didn't really think much more of it until I was working with an act called Song Dog, Lyndon Morgan's, fantastic songwriter, through mutual friend of ours, Bethan Fries, who recommended he come here and do an album, and we got on it's a fantastic album. You played on 4 tracks of it.
Yeah.
Not released yet. It will be released in a month or so. I played it to Joe Materia. He flipped. He went, this album is like one of the best things I've heard in ages.
Oh, brilliant.
And we were talking about it, and Lyndon was talking about his manager, Corinne, and I didn't think of it, and he went, I think she knows you, or whatever, and I went, Corinne from down in Cornwall, you know, and she went, yeah, she's our manager, and it's like, what's the chances of that?
Yeah.
They're completely unconnected. There's nothing to do with the Korgis. This is to do with somebody else. These guys lived in London for 30 years. They've moved back to Wales, but there's no connection with Cornwall. There's no connection with...
Sure.
It's just, what are the chances of that happening? And I ended up, I was talking to her on the phone and just going, you know, it's like, I can't believe that you're the same person I was talking to, and, you know.
Oh.
It's like,
and how did you start talking? What was it to her?
It was just during COVID, and it was just everybody's got to learn sometime was just a common thread. She just mentioned something on Twitter, and I just respond to anyone who talks about Korgis songs or whatever on Twitter.
Yes.
And just looking at some of her posts, I wrote that song thinking about that. You know, I kind of changed some of the lyrics to make it more personal to me, but that was the inspiration behind it. It was like, it's very the most odd of coincidences.
Yes.
And if you start to weigh up some of these odd coincidences that happen, you have to ask yourself, is something else going on here?
Don't start me off. Oh, one of my favourite subjects. One of my favourite subjects. Yeah.
Anyway, I have my own theories about that. So we may there may be an album in the pipeline on that subject. Who knows? You know, we'll see.
I'm definitely on the side of coincidence. Some of them are just too bizarre.
Yeah,
and too.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think everyone's had them and they've gone, I can't believe it, you know, it's like that just, you know.
I've had things where I've been looking at my diary and thinking, I haven't done a gig with them for a while. 3 days later I have a phone call from them. And it's been months and months and months.
I used to, when I was 15, I lived in Glasgow, and I went to school in Glasgow. And this happened to me probably 20 times. And it's only happened while I was in Glasgow. But I'd be walking along the street, and somebody's face would pop into my head, and then they would walk around the corner.
Yeah.
Straight away.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's like, I guess when you talk about, even when you're sleeping, you're kind of maybe aware of where it is, but maybe it's a bit more, you know, the idea of astral flying and being able to see things from above,
Sure.
etc. Maybe we have some kind of capability that senses a lot more than we're able to take in. And that's what was happening. Maybe I was sensing this person, and that's why they walked around the corner, and that's why they popped into my head.
I reckon that we have a sixth sense.
A sixth sense.
That we are unable to use. What's the word?
Yeah, we haven't learned how to use it.
We haven't learned how to use it, but we've got it.
Yeah.
But it's so we haven't learned how to use it, but it happens, and we don't know how or why, but it's there.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Probably a load of rubbish.
Well, talking to Born to Win about it, about that kind of subject, they did kind of all kinds of experiments and stuff that had been Born to Win. Of course they would. Of course they would do experiments and stuff like that. But they found proof, basically, that our thoughts contain energy outside of our heads. That they contain energy that influences physical things outside it. They did experiments. They did experiments on rice, believe it or not. On bowls of rice.
No, it all
they did
makes
experiments
sense.
on bowls of rice. They went, I know this is really, really silly, but we're going to have identical bowls of rice, and we're going to put them in different bits of the room. And some of these bowls of rice we're going to go to, and we're going to go, we hate you. You're the most horrible bowl of rice ever. And then we go to the other ones and go, you're a lovely bowl of rice. Lovely, lovely. You're the best bowl of rice ever. You're my favourite bowl of rice. The ones that they hated went off in like a day and a half, and the other ones were untouched.
Wow.
That's just like, you know, okay, they said, we know this is it's a stupid experiment. We know it's stupid, but the facts are there. You know, that's what happened. So it's weird. So it's about positive energy and negative energy, that it actually does go outside your body.
Yes.
That it's not contained within yourself. Yeah. So careful. If you wish people harm, you might actually be causing them harm. So don't do that. Don't do that.
No, I do not.
I've only got love for you, Paul Smith.
Oh, well,
you're safe. You're safe. We're safe in each other's company. So anyway, we got rather sidetracked there, didn't we, Paul?
No. It's all part of the life's discussions.
So thinking of you, that's how it started. With that woman down in Cornwall, who I still haven't met. She was Corinne. She was up here during the year as well, and I didn't get a chance to get to see her. So we are, I think, then we're gonna come up and we're gonna have a little look at Sonar, but I'm gonna do something a bit weird this time, because there's not very much to look at on Sonar, because it's acoustic guitar, it's James's vocal, and it's strings. And that's it. They're the only things that are on it. There's no drums, there's no percussion, there's nothing. But anyway, I'm going to stick it up on screen. We're going to grab Sonar up here, and I'll show you a little something. A few little things are around here. As you will know, hang on, I'm going to just make a bit more space here. There we are. As you will know, Red is lead vocal. I'm just going to move this around a little bit so we don't lose me. You'll see there's no backing vocals. What? There's no backing vocals. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. No backing vocals on this. There is a single acoustic guitar. It's not even mic stereo. It is just there. It's my trusty old Gibson. It sounds like this. Like that. And then down here we've got strings, beautiful strings. But because this was locked down, this is all Richard. They'll come in any second. Little solo section I wrote. Very simple writing, nothing really hard in it. The whole idea was that it was a simple song. I don't know, at one point James said, I love this song. Should we make it, I think it could be a single. Could we make it into a bigger song? Could we write middle eight for it and all that? And I said, we could, and it would work like that, but I just always envisaged it as a smaller song. Just always envisaged it as something that would be short, that would be 2 minutes 15, which is what I think it is. So because there's very little there to see, I just thought we would do a little experiment. Okay, and this is, I'm going to take you back off screen for a second. I'll put you back in a minute. If I was going to put a backing vocal block on that, this is kind of something like I would do. And you might say, oh, well, you need a really good mic, etc. Well, I could use this mic, that would work. Or I could just pick up anything that was at hand. And to prove that this is the case, I've got my megaphone here. Now, this is the lowest quality microphone that you can possibly get. And I haven't done any EQ on it because I can do that later if we need to. But I just thought, for a laugh, that I would stick a backing vocal block on this, and we'll just see what it sounds like at the other end. So I'm going to turn the speakers off, but you will still be able to hear them here. I'm going to stick some headphones on and record these in a little bit. So that's all good. So I'm going to do, I was just going to say, I'm just going to do a backing vocal block on it just to show people that you don't need to use the best quality mics. I've got my megaphone here. Yes. I'm going to stick some quick backing vocal block on. I haven't figured out what I'm going to do. I haven't figured out what tune it's going to go, but it makes sense to put it on the chorus. So that's what I'm going to do. So we'll see. I've got a rough thing there. That should be all right. Let's come in there. I have set the mic channel up for this. You can see there it's going up. That's really good, isn't it? I'll put you back up on Sonar in a minute. Paul, you won't be able to hear this at the moment because I've switched the speakers off just so we get a bit of isolation, so we get the real clarity of this megaphone.
When you say not the best, like...
Yeah, anyone that was watching the rehearsal saw me trying to plug the megaphone in with howling feedback, and then it went off and didn't get it to work. I have fixed it.
Oh, good.
I've fixed it.
Oh,
yeah,
well
so
done.
it's now, that's why it's down here. Anyway, I'm going to stick this quick backing vocal block on here and we'll see what we can do. Here we go.
Of you, thinking of you, the years we haven't met, thinking of you, something in me can't forget, though I have.
Okay, so that'll do. I'm going to sing two of those because there's safety in numbers.
Of you, thinking of you.
I'm going to do that again because that was particularly rubbish. Here we go.
I mean, I'll do it if you like.
Thinking of you, the years we haven't met. Thinking of you, something in me can't forget, though I have.
So now, just so you can see how this is building up, I'm going to go back up onto Sonar. I'm going to switch James off because my vocal is now getting into his territory. And I'm going to, so you can see up there at the top, there are two backing vocal lines there. We're going to do 2 lots of 3. So we're going to do 6 backing vocals. So here's the next one down. Thinking of you. Ooh, thinking of you. Ooh. Oh, it's double that. Let's do another one. Thinking of you. Ooh, thinking of you. Ooh. And we've got one more to go on here. Whoops. Thinking of you. Ooh, thinking there might be one that's a little rubbish in there, but it'll probably cover up.
Thinking of you. Ooh, thinking of you. Ooh.
So if we I'm going to stick it back on speaker, because theoretically we're done. I made a couple of little errors there, but you probably won't be able to tell. So I'm just going to put backing vocals on solo. This is solo. There's a little bit of reverb on them. See what they're like.
Thinking of you. Ooh, thinking of you.
So there's a little bit of hum coming out there. Not great, and it's not the greatest sound. However, if we maybe stick some echo on it, and also there's something about lo-fi that it's imagine someone telephoning something through. That's quite an interesting idea.
But they've done a lot of that these days, haven't they? What they call it, when they do tracks. Oh, what do they call it?
Well, lo-fi.
No, but that's not. Well, no, I'll come up with it in a second.
Okay, so this is it with echo on.
Thinking of you. Ooh, thinking of you.
Okay, so this is what it would be like in the track. Bit of dodging out there. Okay, with the lead vocal in, and then I'm going to paste it into the violin solo as well, because it'll work over that. So here we are with James back in.
One I hear is thinking of you, thinking of you. Though in years we haven't met, thinking of you. Something in me can't forget. Though I have much to say,
We'll see what it's like behind the
I'm
strings.
a million miles away. Know that someone out here is thinking of you. Thinking of you. Thinking of you. Though my promise wasn't true,
Etc. So I'm probably not going to keep that. It's not going to end up. It obviously didn't end up on the album because I decided
it's already gone. That is. Bit late for that one. Yeah.
But there we are. That's how we do it. I mean, anyone that's worked with us knows that that's about the speed that we do them. We just think of some ideas and whack them down, and then move on to the next.
Indeed,
And
yeah.
Wipe that down.
How great it sounds.
It's very nice, isn't it? It's nice. I would spend a little bit more attention to detail because there was a couple
Probably
of lines where I went,
wouldn't use that mic either, would you?
I probably wouldn't use that mic, but it just goes to show if that was the only mic you had, you could get something good out of it.
Absolutely.
And that's without me really spending any time on making it
Yeah.
sound better than
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
which of course I could. Yeah. But of course my megaphone is now ripe and ready to go for the next rehearsal.
Oh,
so.
great.
That megaphone.
How marvellous.
Sean is going to do all of his trump parts through the megaphone.
Oh, right.
So,
Oh, yes, he
yeah,
is, isn't he?
Yeah.
Hi,
So all of that stuff. Well, I could get to the station.
Sorry.
I could get a train.
This was Ringo.
Oh,
That was easy.
He
hey.
said that was easy.
Wow.
For you, Ingo, for you.
No.
Yeah, it's very good. Very good.
Excellent. So I don't know if we've got much further with the quiz question.
No, it doesn't seem that way. There was one I think we've only had the one answer.
Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to reiterate the quiz question.
Yes.
And then we're gonna show, because not everyone was there for the rehearsal live stream. I know that was a bit of a last minute. Oh, are we going to do it? Are we not going to do it? And it was a little bit haphazard. However, we did get every one of those songs into the live stream, even though it was stopping and starting at the very beginning. And bless her, Carrie, for persevering and getting that to work.
Indeed. Fair dues, yes.
So anyway, quiz question going back up here.
I'll read it from here this
You
time.
read it from there, but I'm going to stick it up on screen as well. Oh, that's not how you do it. You must do it that way, yeah. Go on then, Paul.
It's obvious that Alienated Nations is from the song of the same name. What song did the lyric Ununited Nations appear in, and which came first, the lyric in the song or the album title?
Yes, here we are. So there's been a guess for which song it came in. To my knowledge, there isn't a guess for which came first, but maybe there is. Maybe there is. I saw someone there. Someone may have said something.
Oh.
So while we research and go back and look at all these answers and study them carefully, lest we make a mistake like we did the other week.
Who made that mistake?
We gave, between you and I, we gave the wrong person the prize. I think somebody said, no, it definitely wasn't me that won that. Somebody else.
That does ring a bell, actually, yes. I was going to say something. Yeah, well, yes.
So there we are. We're going to go and search through those. But in the meantime, here's something that I plucked out of that 4.5-hour live stream. And this is Born Under a Full Moon. Oh, I'll tell you what, I'm going to get rid of
the live stream after I'd done a 7-hour drive from Leeds.
Yeah. You did. Now, you did pretty well, Paul, I gotta say.
Did all right.
You were on the ball.
Quite happy with that.
Here we go. Coming out, yeah. Born Under a Full Moon.
How you would have done that as well. Yeah, I don't think it was an accident though. But that's it. That's perfect from the top. From the top. 1, 2, 3.
You are born under a full moon. The moon clouds look like a movie, and the band played a Brazilian tune. There's a lunar and a tuner, and the other one's for you. Something caught my eye on the road.
There we are. It was a great rehearsal.
Very good.
It was really good. Paul, you were saying earlier in the day about how much easier it is when there's written music for stuff. Obviously, I had to write all the music for it, so that's not such an easy bit. However, when it's everybody's time, and there's, we another 6 people other than me, or 5, another 6 people other than me. It's all of their time that I got to consider. Yeah. And also, if you're a confident reader, it gives you stuff to hang on to. You just go, okay, I know where it goes. I know what it's supposed to do. So it takes a lot of the kind of, oh God, I've forgotten about that. Yeah. Oh, what happens there? All that stuff that we often do on Korgis gigs. We go, how does that section in the middle go? Because I don't use any dots for the Korgis stuff, and neither John does a little, but James doesn't, and you do a little.
I have to.
Yeah.
The memory. But not what it used to be.
I started it off by not using dots at all.
If you start off that way, it's all right. And I don't use all dots, actually.
Yeah.
The ones that we do, things like Video Killed the Radio Star.
Yeah.
Don't use anything for that.
Yeah.
We don't do it anymore, but the Wall Street Shuffle.
Yeah.
Wasn't using any dots for that. There's other ones as well, I don't.
Yeah.
But, once you start, it's very difficult to drop the parts.
Yeah.
So it's, I had a chap say to me years ago, I was using some charts. This is back when I was 19, 20. And he said to me, right, next week I'm taking those parts off you. What? He said, I'm throwing them away. So yeah, that was a bit of a no, you can't do that. Once you start, it's really hard.
There is an old joke, isn't there? There's a joke of how do you get a keyboard player to turn down is take his music away.
Well,
and how do you get a guitar player to turn down? You give him dots.
Yes.
You put the dots in
the
front
other
of
way
him
around.
and you play quiet. Because keyboard players traditionally come up through piano lessons and written music, and guitar players traditionally come up through, I've got these strings and I've learned these chords and I've learned these songs.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So, of course, we've all.
But of course, not with you, Al. You're so quiet. You're almost inaudible.
I know. People often say to me, it was quite funny when I took over guitar on the Elton gig that I do, because I was playing bass with the Elton gig for ages. I just thought, it would be nice to know all those Elton bass lines, and I took over the guitar job. And he said, "Now, I want to make sure I can hear you. I need to hear you. You know,
He should have said that to you. He should have said that to you.
I said, Kevin, nobody has ever asked me to turn up. Nobody's ever asked me to turn up.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. Definitely not wrong. Great though it is.
Aye, indeed. Sorry, just going back to the quiz question a little bit.
Yes.
No one has absolutely got this completely right yet, so there could be some joint prizes going on here.
Nicholas has said.
Hang on. Yeah,
but no, all he said is got all the lyric sheets out but can't find it. And Ingo has said, I think it was near the end of the song where it was mentioned.
Yeah, ALienated Nations, I think, was verse 3. Yeah, I believe, after the middle eight. I think.
But Ingo's then sent something.
Yeah. Well, we'll go back. It's like, it doesn't matter if we need to give a couple of prizes out, that's fine. We're not going to give half a CD out.
That would be funny though, wouldn't it? That would be funny. Oh, I love it.
Half each was worth the prize.
You gotta listen in the week after to get the other half.
Yeah. So news this week.
News.
Paul Griffin and myself are at number 40 in the Heritage chart.
Hey.
So
again.
please,
I voted last week.
Everyone vote because I think we got in a really good timing. It's just after Christmas. All the Christmas songs we got. Nobody's releasing anything in January apart from us. Apart from us.
Well, and the fact that it's very good, obviously.
It is good. Yeah, it is good. It's also from Putin and Trump the musical.
Well,
so there we are.
Perfect.
Of course, when
so your days are numbered,
Paul had the idea at first as a lyric-based idea from long ago, but he actually said, "Do you think this could fit in Putin and Trump the musical?" And I went, "I think it probably very well could."
Get to the frontier.
Get to the frontier. And talking about Paul just sent me, as a celebration for us getting in, he's just sent me a card, which is a very funny card, actually. The Beatles.
I've been looking at that on the thing there.
Any ideas for the next verse of Hey Jude, lads? Nah.
Love it. Brilliant. I didn't see that.
It's funny.
Excellent.
And it also reminds me of the Beethoven joke, which you know the Beethoven joke, because it's an Owen Money joke, where Beethoven was not the easiest person to live with. And his wife was long suffering, and she got to a point where she had enough. And she said, Ludwig, I am leaving you. I've had enough. I can't stand you anymore. And he shouted at her just before she closed the door. He said, you can't leave me. You're my inspiration. And she said, your inspiration? Ha 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 ha.
Oh, dear. I'd like to apologise.
I love that joke.
I'd like to apologise for my colleague's attempt at humour. Oh, dear God. Paul G has said it's the last line of the penultimate verse of Oppenheimer.
Yes, it is. Yes, that is correct.
But to be fair...
Yeah, but that wasn't the question, actually,
no,
was it? It was which song it was from,
yes,
and which order they were written in.
Yes.
Yeah. whether the album title came first or the song came first. Also, Paul, thank you for the CD. I will listen to that. There's a Dave Gilmour and Rick Wright live concert.
Oh, okay.
Very nice. Very nice. So what else here? So Heritage Chat, please vote. Just to say, Chapel Arts is seated. Okay, so I know when we do it with the Korgis, it's a free-for-all, there's a lot of standing, and I often get people going, can you keep me a seat, please? And which we always do. We always kind of put some reserved here or there if anyone really needs a seat for it. This time it's all seated, so it's table seating everywhere. So it'll be very, very comfortable. It's not saying you can get up and dance any time you want to. There'll be plenty of space to dance, but it's a table seated thing. So comfort first. Comfort first. There is perhaps even a point on stage where I shall be seated. Just 1 point, maybe.
Ooh.
Just 1 point.
Interesting.
A little bit of a staging thing there, yeah. What else? This is it. Someone approached us, and they are called Beanhead Art. Approached us. You've probably seen this on Facebook.
Great. Yeah, excellent.
Where they approached us and said, would you be interested in having some Korgis art? So I'm going to stick this up on screen if you haven't seen it. Beanhead Art. So I think John gave them this pick of 3 of us. Obviously there's 5 of us in the thingy, so as if I'd got to him in time I would have given him a pick of 5 of us, but I delayed because I was busy writing.
I'll let you off, Al.
Busy writing all the stuff, so I didn't have time to do it. So by the time I got to it, John had already done it. So this is a kind of an interesting thing in the fact that it's to celebrate 45 years of Everybody's Gotta Learn Sometime. There are going to be 45 of these prints, and they're quite big. I'll tell you what.
Wow, brilliant. Have you got some?
Can I haven't got this one, but I've got a different one.
Ooh.
2 seconds.
I'll keep them talking.
Keep them talking, right?
So there was this nun walked. No, I better not do that one. There was it. No, can't do that one either. No. Oh, you're back now. Anyway,
I'm back now. Yeah. Yeah. So this is what they're like. They're like that. Oh, sorry. Hang on. I'll take this off screen. Yeah. Yeah. That is kind of what they're like. So they're quite big.
yeah.
This is in a cellophane wrap one. I'll just take it out to see what it's like in the flesh, as it were. Also, they're going to come in sealed packs that are childproof, obviously.
And guitar player proof.
Oh, I know. Okay. Something there.
I'm not going to hit the easy button now. It wasn't that easy.
No, anything but easy button.
Anything but easy button.
Also, it's quite nice. So it's not a shiny print. It's quite a matte print, which is quite a nice thing.
Are you seeing that, everybody?
I think they are seeing that.
Good.
So yeah, it'll be something like that, but it won't be that picture. It'll be the other picture back up on screen. It'll be that picture. So yeah, you can put it down now.
Thank you.
And so yeah, there's a lot of 45s going on in here. So it's 45 years of Everybody's Gotta Learn Sometime. There will be 45 of these prints. They will be numbered, and each one will be signed.
Can I say what you should do? What should be done? A 7-inch single, 45 RPM.
45 as well. Well, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
Be a great idea, wouldn't it?
Quite expensive singles, and no one buys them anymore, do they?
Yeah, but this isn't for that.
I know.
This is purely
idea.
for
For
that,
Yeah,
for a moment,
maybe.
because you wouldn't want to play it, would you? But 45 years on a 45 RPM. Anybody think that's a good idea? Come on. I think it is. I'm sure Ingo would want one. And Paul Griffin. Sure you would.
Well, we'll see.
Anyway.
We'll see. They're not cheap because it's 45 years and there's 45 of them, and they're all going to be signed. They're 45 quid. So it's not an impulse buy. I would say.
No,
not an impulse buy. But if anyone wants one, yeah,
Would be worth some money though, wouldn't it? You know, so 45.
Yeah, hopefully at some point. Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, there we are. I know Paul G's asking, are the revamped liner notes done yet? No, they're not, because we haven't got through the old ones yet. All it was there on Putin and Trump the musical, the lyrics, it didn't actually say who the writers were. And of course, Paul's one of the writers, so he has a vested interest in it. And of course, because the liner notes would normally explain each song, but the Putin and Trump thing is done in the form of a script. So some of those things have kind of got a little bit left out. But I will redo some liner notes at some point. It is on this actual script, the A4 script. I have revamped those at least.
Yes, so have I.
There we are.
So, Mr. Ingo is saying yes with the original and a new version. I would buy it.
Ooh.
See?
Ooh.
See?
Ooh.
Told you.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
There's one.
Well, there we are. We've got one sale. Yeah.
Maybe not enough at the moment to be
Well,
valid.
I know John's really up for it. I mean, I know he's gone 45 years. Is that enough? Is that enough to make people interested? I don't know, but he thinks it is. So yeah.
See, eh?
There we are. We will see. Okay. There'll be no more guesses of the thingy, have we? So I think we might just do the competition winner.
Drum roll, please.
Okay, so okay, yes, we are going to do that. I'm going to stick it back up on screen if I can find it. Yes, there we are. It's obvious that Alienated Nations is from the song of the same name. What song did the lyric Ununited Nations appear in, and which came first, the lyric in the song or the album title? Okay, so Ingo, you were definitely first in saying that it was from Oppenheimer. Yes, indeed, it was from Oppenheimer, and that was one of the earlier songs that were written. So actually, you do get the prize, Ingo, for that, even though you didn't actually get the second part of the question right. And I explain why that is because we had maybe 5-6 songs in the frame, and even though Oppenheimer was one of the earliest ones that was begun, we didn't actually then write the middle 8 for it, and I didn't finish all the lyrics until we got a bit further on. By that time, we had figured out this idea of locations in the world and calling the album Ununited Nations. And at that point, I then slipped the Ununited Nations into the third verse of Oppenheimer. So it was the other way around. The title of the album came first, even though it would be very logical for it to be the other way around, but there's not much logic in what the Korgis do, I can tell you.
Especially you.
Well, everything goes in different ways, different things arrive, and they go, actually, that beginning song, that'd be good for the end, wouldn't it? And end of an era, that'd be good for the beginning of the second album, all that sort of stuff.
Makes sense, doesn't it? to somebody.
Makes sense to some people, yeah. Keep them guessing, that's what I say. Keep them guessing.
Absolutely.
Well, listen, thank you all for that. Ingo, I will put your CD together next week, because I will see you next week, and so I will give it to you in person, along with your Alienated Nations and along with your red vinyl. I believe you still haven't got the red vinyl.
It'll be like Christmas for you, Ingo.
It will be like Christmas. It'll be a second Christmas.
Second Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there we are. Brilliant. Next week, hopefully joined by Andy Fairweather Lowe. I'm going to be shouting about that from the rooftops.
Absolutely.
And we will be doing the song Neverland, which is one of my favourites from it. It's just something about the guitar playing, and we will be gunner zoning in on some of that stuff that happened there. Especially the guitars on that. But there's a lot of stuff that I like in there, and there's a lot of things. I remember Karen saying about, she went, what is that? And I went, it's a nest of vipers. It's actually me on the microphone with echo on it. There's a load of it going on. It sounds like a nest of vipers.
That's John Cleese faulty, wasn't it? Basil faulty. And I call Elaine it sometimes. I say, my little nest of vipers.
Yeah. Some great. How many was there? There were something like 8 in the series of Faulty Towers.
I think so.
Something like 6 or 8. Yeah, 6 or 8. And the density of humour in there is just amazing, isn't it?
Ridiculous.
I love the one, a very similar one about Sybil goes, No, Basil doesn't gamble anymore, do you, Basil? And he goes, yeah, no, that's another avenue of pleasure that's being closed.
Excellent, yeah. Brilliant. Yeah. It's in the West End at the moment, I think, isn't it?
Is it?
It's just a stage show now. Yeah. That should be quite amusing, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, yeah, it bears watching, doesn't it? It's just amazing series.
Fabulous, yeah.
There we are. So we're going to leave them. We're going to leave them with the new video for Thinking of You, and then the new closing title sequence.
Hang on, Ringo has said, I have both vinyls, but ordered a T-shirt.
Oh yes, you did. Oh right, okay. I didn't realise you had the red vinyl as well, but yeah, that must have arrived.
Okay, so.
Oh no, I think I remember what happened. Yeah. Yes. T-shirt. And thingy. So we'll get all of them to you.
We'll see you Monday, Ingo.
And your prize.
Not Monday. What night? What is it?
Well, I'm going to see him on Friday. I'm going to see because he flies in on Friday.
And the gig is Saturday.
The gig is Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday. Why I said Monday, I have no idea.
No.
Don't even.
No. It's because your head's in the shed like mine is, because we've got this next rehearsal on Tuesday. It's all going to be great.
Oh,
nothing can go wrong.
Yes, it's not this Saturday, isn't it? It's a Saturday.
It's a Saturday after.
The 25th.
Yeah.
25th?
The 18th. Nothing gets past you, Paul.
Nothing gets past.
That's all I can say is.
It's in the diary.
That was easy.
It's in the diary. Oh,
thank God he has diaries. Thank you very much. See you all soon.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Back up on screen. Here we go.
When your spirit's low, you've nowhere to go. Know that morning will come and black will turn to blue. When the wine is gone and no one is wrong, know that someone out here is thinking of you. When your day's been slow and your feet are cold, things that comfort your soul seem so far away. It may be a foolish thing in spite of everything. Know that someone out here is thinking of you. Thinking of you, though in years we haven't met. Thinking of you, something in me can't forget. Though I have much to say and I'm a million miles away, know that someone out here is thinking of you. Though my promise wasn't true to keep the hurt from you, know that someone out here is thinking of you.
now.